In a big breakthrough in the agitation of the ex-servicemen, which has been going on for over 80 days now, the veterans have called off the fast unto death as the Prime Minister Narendra Modi reassured them about the provisions this morning. Prime Minister Modi clarified armed forces personnel who retired prematurely will also be entitled to the OROP. This led the veterans softening their stance. They have now called off their fast unto death. However, they have said their agitation will continue till all their demands are met.
Come, let's go.
The veterans have also said their big September 12 rally is still on. The ex-servicemen also took a note and said they will take a call on the future course of the agitation in that rally on 12th September.
हमारी फौजियों की वन रैंक वन पेंशन की डिमांड कल पूरी हुई है और इस सरकार ने वन रैंक वन पेंशन लागू करने का हुक्म दिया है। हम सब फौजी परिवार अपने प्रधानमंत्री जी का धन्यवाद करते हैं कि उन्होंने ये एक साहसी कदम उठाकर जो हमारे को वादा किया था उसको पूरा किया है। हम फौजी परिवार और हम जो इस मुहिम को चला रहे हैं उनको क्या इसमें इश्यूज हैं जो अभी रिजॉल्व होने रहते हैं।
Joining me for more on this are three special guests. Group Captain retired V.K. Gandhi. He is the General Secretary of the Indian Ex-Servicemen Movement. Also, Major General Dhruv Katoch is joining us on this broadcast. And with me in the studio is Major General retired P.K. Sehgal. Thank you so much, gentlemen, for joining us this evening. Let me first quickly go across to Group Captain Gandhi. Sir, now do you think the battle is half won, and what now for the ex-servicemen?
We are very happy that the Prime Minister has cleared the doubts which have been sowed in yesterday's news conference. In fact, we are really surprised that why this question of VRS was implanted in the press conference. Till morning 11 o'clock, there was nothing like this, and suddenly at 2:30 this issue cropped up. It gives us a feeling that there is somebody who is trying to detrain discussions and detrain or is not happy that one rank one pension is being given. I will urge the Government of India to carry out an investigation as to who is the person who is trying to do this. Another issue which has been brought in is of taking the mean of maximum and minimum.
Yeah.
Now please understand, on one side, if you accept the one rank and one pension as a principle and then you take the mean, then you are again giving different pensions to the same rank with the same length of service and ex-servicemen. Now this will be again violating the principle of the one rank and one pension.
Okay.
This is what is our second question.
Coming to you, Major General P.K. Sehgal, sir, do you think after all this drama, many said that the ex-servicemen should not have taken to the street, it was not in good taste, the discipline of the armed forces, so and so forth. Now it has come after 15 months, even after the Modi government came into power. Is the Prime Minister and the present government now absolved of the delay that that happened for the last 15 months?
Personally, I have faith and trust in the Modi government and the present establishment. However, we do not trust the civilian bureaucracy. On every single event in the past, they have always interpreted or misinterpreted the governmental directions. It is for this instance that we want to see the order in writing so that there is no scope for any mischief whatsoever.
Right.
Because on every single occasion in the past, they bent backwards to deny to the service personnel what is their due.
Coming to you, Major General Dhruv Katoch, sir, there are still some sticking points. The announcement has been made. There are few sticking points still left. So, will the 12th September rally that is still on for the ex-servicemen, will that see a new direction to this entire agitation, or are we expecting now things to smoothen off and just glide through?
In my view,
I think things are going to smoothen out now. The major demand has been met. And I think this has been very important to understand what the previous speakers have also spoken, that after 42 years, we finally have a resolution. And it is important to have this resolution. This is the first step. Unfortunately, we have the civilian bureaucracy. Now, what this movement has really done is to sensitize the people of India to what the services requirements are. And this was a gap which had been existing for a long time. I do not consider this either in terms of victory or otherwise. I consider this in terms of letting the people of India know what the services requirements are. And for the first time, I think the Indian public has been sensitized to what it is. The second aspect is, as far as this rally is concerned,
yes.
The first objective, as General Sadbir has also stated, has been achieved. Now, I think it calls for a redefinition of what we wish to do. What is left to be done are things which can be done administratively by our own people. And I think a small group of people formed can address those issues in a cool, calm and collected manner. And I think this can be done within a time frame of 1 to 2 months.
Group Captain Gandhi, what about the politics around this entire agitation? It was the ex-servicemen, those who were spearheading this entire agitation, but there has been a lot of political undertones, a political color that many people tried to paint it with. Today, more than the victory of OROP, there has been a war of words between the Congress and the BJP over it. Do you believe that both the parties are now trying to utilize this politically for their benefit?
We are ex-servicemen. We are not interested whether it is Congress or the BJP. None of us has ever spoken why Congress has not done and why BJP is doing it. We are true nationalists. We serve the nation and we trust the government in power. But yes, coming to the present situation, Prime Minister Modi, when he was nominated, he promised one rank, one pension, and we expected that he will deliver. He has delivered, though albeit little late. Now the question here is, we also knew that he is the only person who can do it, and we thank him for that. But the question here is that when it's being delivered, why there are doubts being created by implanting certain issues which are of the very lesser value. For example, I just told you the mean thing which the government is trying to put in it, it is not going to save government more than 30 crores or 50 crores.
Yes.
Now, if for that money they want to spoil the definition of one rank, one pension and also lose the trust of the ex-servicemen, I'm sorry, I will not buy that.
General Saigal, what about these three major sticking issues? First of all, the revision of the pension in 5 years. You have been demanding it to be done either in 1 or 2 years. The commission that has been formed by the government it's a one-member commission. On the other hand, there is also issue about the base year. How important are these points? Till what extent can the ex-servicemen community negotiate on this? And do you believe the government is ready to take on board what you have been saying?
The issues are critical. The very definition of one rank, one pension as accepted by the Parliament of India, as approved by the Supreme Court of India, would stand vitiated if equalization is done once in 5 years. It is possible to do so every year or every alternate year. The modern software permits you to do so, provided the political will and the desire to do so is available. Secondly, as brought out by Group Captain Gandhi, the financial outgoes only in the region of 30 to 50 crores. And if you want to satisfy 25 to 26 lakh ex-servicemen and have their goodwill towards you, I think it's a very small cost to pay for the government.
Yes.
As regards the second issue, Modi moves at a jet speed. Why has a one-man commission been formed and given 6 months to move at a snail's pace? The commission too must move at the same pace at which the Prime Minister operates. Firstly, we very strongly feel that this one-man commission should be replaced by a 3-man commission or a 5-man commission, which should include a representative of a serving personnel, a retired personnel headed by a judge, so that it is more fair, more balanced, more just. Justice not only should be done, but seen to be done.
Absolutely. Major General Katoch, coming to you, if the way things have panned out so far, there is a lot of excitement now in the ex-servicemen community that at least the major objective has been realized. If the government now takes another, let's say, 15 months or drags its feet on the sticking issues, are we going to see a repeat of this entire agitation? Because the fast unto death so far has been called off, but the relay hunger strike is still on.
I think we need to have faith in the government. I see no reason why why the present government is going to go on delay the issue for 15 months. That is not going to happen, not with this government. There is another point which General Saigal just mentioned. You know, we are talking about finances. I want to just talk for about 30 seconds on finances. What we have here is 88,000 crores which go on to onto the pensions of both the civilians and the army, and 50% of this goes to the civil administration. Now, the civil administration, they have taken what they call the NFFU, or the non-functional financial upgradation. I think this is the biggest scam which has taken place in this country. How can a bunch of bureaucrats carry out a scheme like this and get it passed in the last pay commission to grant them perpetual one rank, one pension in a sense? If you carry out the analysis of what this means, it will come to many times the expenditure which is being incurred on the veterans. The second point is, when you look at the total outlay of pension of the veterans, please rest assured 50% of that outlay is going to defend civilian employees. Now, I think we need to carry out a financial adjustment, a financial analysis to see how we can carry out a reduction there. Why can't a large portion of the veterans actually be employed there, and you start reducing your defense bill? So I am not too enamored with this argument of finance. I think the civilian bureaucracy has taken us for a ride, and I think we need to have a white paper on this in Parliament to see why has this NFFU come up. And I would strongly urge the people of India through your channel, please have a check on this, and in the next pay commission, if not now, please have this abrogated immediately.
Gandhi, coming to you, sir, do you now, after all this agitation, after 15 months delay and still a little distance to be covered so that this trust deficit could be bridged, do you now feel the government has done enough has been done for the ex-servicemen?
I will say Defence Minister and the Prime Minister both have done what they have promised to do. But the problem lies here is, if they have declared one rank, one pension, where is the delay in issuing the government letter? Now, along with this, draft government letter has already been given to the government. The draft government letter should have been issued along with the statement.
Yes.
If that not been done, a time should have been announced. Please understand, we have been deceived twice earlier. One in the case of one rank pay, and second in the case of the 6th Pay Commission recommendations to be implemented. While issuing the paying orders, the bureaucrats had played with the words, thereby depriving many lakhs of the ex-servicemen of their logical dues. Rank-based dues even today have not been given full, despite the case has been won in the Supreme Court. Therefore, we are very worried. Unless the government tells us when the government order will be out, we will not stop the agitation.
Major General Saigal, very quickly coming to you before we end this broadcast, as Gupta Captain Gandhi was saying that despite the Defence Minister and the Prime Minister coming out with this announcement, they still need to see the fine print. Do you think the government is still trying to dilly-dally? They are trying to use their, all the options that they usually use in politics, just giving you an announcement and possibly delaying on the things on the ground?
The Prime Minister per se and the Defence Minister per se may not be having this in mind. But somehow or the other, the civilian bureaucrat is totally untrustworthy. There is absolute and total mistrust between the civilian bureaucracy and the armed forces, not today, for the last 30-40 years. And hence, we do not trust the civilian bureaucracy till we see it in print in front of us.
All right, thank you so much, gentlemen, for joining us this evening to speak about one rank, one pension. I thank all my guests for giving us perspective on this story. The crux of the matter is the ex-servicemen are happy. Still a little distance to go, but the trust deficit between the civilian bureaucracy and the defense personnel still persists. With that, it's a wrap on this bulletin. Stay tuned to India Today.